dear Sitecore family. So today we have Girish Jain again talking to us about Content Hub, but today's topic is a little different. So Girish has been on Content Hub for how long? Like 2 years now?
2 years now, yes.
Yeah. So he has been exploring Content Hub in different ways, in different projects, and strategizing things for the clients. And this episode is about how can we get creative with Content Hub. So let's get started. So well, that's your question right there. When we look at Content Hub, we always look at that okay, when we hear Content Hub, it's mainly the DAM, digital asset management and storing the assets and putting it there, and PCM and CMP and MRM and all those modules. But then how can we get creative with Content Hub?
First of all, I would like to thank you, Varun, for having me again on the podcast. So initially when I started with Content Hub, that was my same perception about Content Hub. It's just damn, you could save your assets. It helps you in centralizing your assets repository and
versioning them,
and you can access it whenever you require and archive them or retire them when an asset is not required.
Yep.
But as gradually, like I had this question, like what else can be done with Content Hub?
Right.
How whenever a client purchases it, we can add more value to it. So I have been exploring it, and like one important thing is with assets. So they are created by photographers. They created or creative people are involved. And one important thing that Content Hub offers is a seamless connectivity between Adobe suite of products and Content Hub.
So which means you can connect Content Hub with, let's say, Adobe Photoshop?
Yes.
Okay.
We have out-of-the-box connectors, like we have a Sitecore Connect, which helps you in connecting Adobe Suite with Content Hub. Then we have the CI Hub connector, which helps in seamlessly moving assets between in and out of Content Hub into the Adobe Suite and into Content Hub. So let's say as an example, I'm a photographer. So I am working on certain product photos. So I have done with my work. So without these connectors in between, I have to save it to my system. Then I have to again move to Content Hub and again upload it. So that would involve 2 extra steps. But with CI Hub connector in between, I can just complete my work in Adobe Suite and then just move the assets directly into Content Hub, and that would go into the review approve process flow. So that makes it easy. And like even if I have certain assets that are existing in Content Hub and I want them to be reworked, it's as easy as just dragging and dropping it.
Okay, so let me get it a little bit. What you mean is, instead of saving it somewhere and putting it into Content Hub, this integration or this connector which is available, with that it is a seamless to and fro between Content Hub and the Adobe Suite.
Yes, exactly.
And it's not just while creating an asset, it is also while updating an existing asset.
Yes, for rework. Like we being in digital world, we always want our clients to have minimum clicks to do anything that they want to. So the same could be done with the connector.
This is a great start to the podcast, I would say.
And this is not it. This is just the beginning.
Oh.
Like we have the web to print module.
Web to print module.
Web to print module.
Which means you can take your web media and put it into the print media?
Yes, kind of. But yes, there's much to it. We have like a Chili published back office license that helps you in achieving all the creative aspects you want to do. So basically, like in today's world, like you are digital, you are in offline world, you have to manage the brand perception.
Yes.
So if somebody sees something online and if it is not replicated in offline, so that would be a disjointed experience.
I mean, it could be as simple as looking at the website and then also looking at a banner on the roadside.
Yes.
And if both of them are not matching from a branding perspective, it will be difficult or it will be very challenging.
And like with the evolution, the time to market is shrinking.
Absolutely.
You can't go through the regular process. Like you get an idea, you connect with a creative person, you explain him, and you get to do all sort of things. So that is not happening.
Yep.
It's like you need to be quick. you have an idea, it should go into market in no time. So with Chili Publish, you can create templates or your creative templates, artwork in Adobe Suite. You can move it to, you can create a package and upload it into your web to print module, and then you could use all your data that is available in the Content Hub for creating a template. So to make it simple, I'll take an example. So over here, Dashera is coming, Diwali is coming in India. So I, being a retail store, I want to create some brochures for an office that I'm promoting.
Right.
So without Content Hub in picture, I'll go to a creative person, I'll tell him that I need so and so artwork, I need so and so templates, and that would be a manual process because I have 20 products, so I have to create 20 different templates, and the creative person should do it manually. But with Chili Publish, like I'll have one template or two templates that are created, I'll upload it into Content Hub, and then I have all my product data readily available. And I can pull all the images, metadata, and I can lay it over them on the artwork. So it's just that like I select a product from the drop down and all the metadata is automatically populated. It makes it easy.
And eventually you can use this for future Diwali promotions as well.
Yes.
Because it is already saved. What you need to do is just update those templates to whatever content is required and can then be reused.
Minor changes, and you could reuse and repurpose your work. So in that way, it shrinks the time that is required. Like imagine without Chili Publish or web to print in picture. So the creative person would have to create each template, lay over all the product data, and see to it like is it properly aligned. And the other concern would be, is the approved latest data going on the template? So with DAM, I have all the approved data that has gone through a particular workflow is available, and so I can save on checking that, rechecking.
So is this Chili Publish or web to print module that you're saying by default available with the Content Hub DAM license?
No, that's an additional license that you would have to take, and you would also need a Chili Publishing license for it.
So two more licenses.
Yes, but again,
the flexibility is nice. So
yes,
I agree to that. And what about the license? Like, is there any license required for the connector?
Yes, there's an additional license required for the connector, and the Adobe Suite, like usually, like all the clients usually have them, so that wouldn't be an additional cost. But the CIF connector.
Okay, so the connector does not need license, of course. Adobe products will require license.
The CIF connector would also require license, but the flexibility it does provide for the creative users to drag and drop, and with the ease with which you could navigate between the systems, that would be worth the license.
Worth the license. Yeah. All right. Cool. So I learned 2 new things for sure. Anything else?
Yes, I have few more things. With Content Hub, like I always tell, like it's a treasure box. You keep digging, you find new treasures always. So one other thing is the print template option that is available. Print template. Yes.
So is it different from web to print?
Yes, it is different from web to print. Where with web to print, you could have multiple entities data. Like I can have product data, I can have asset or the DAM data all on the one template. But with print template, I could have only a single entity data, and that would require a few extra steps. Like I could only pull the data from a particular assets detail page.
Okay.
So with print template, I'll just start with an hypothetical example.
Sure.
So yeah, so I have all my products data in the PCM module, and I want to share the product catalogs information with one of my clients. So what would I do? The same, like I'll go curate everything and check the data and do it everything manually.
Yeah.
But with print template, like I already have curated information in PCM.
So technically you have the assets in DAM, you have a product in the PCM, and what you are doing with print template is bringing both of them to same location?
Yes, exactly. So the print template has a template format that is readily available in the Sitecore documentation, and it would like in case if you need the creative part of it, you want to design in lines with your brand, you could always do it, and then you could just configure it and enable it on your details page, like be it the assets detail page, product detail page, or content detail page. So once it is enabled, if you click it, the PDF is generated with all the data that needs to be.
So the print template generates a PDF out of it.
Yes. So you could print it, share it online. You could also make simple flyers, like if you don't want an A4 size, if you're in half a length print template, you could also do it. You could make it all sorts of creative, like you could add designs on how the images are designed, the content of your choice, the color of the font color of your choice. It makes it more creative.
This is exactly where I was coming, because when you say a PDF can be generated, it's quite possible that I might have bought some fonts as a company, as a brand, and I would like to make sure that whether it is web media or print media, I use the same kind of fonts. So that is also possible with the print template.
Yes, exactly. So you have HTML, CSS template format that is available, and like as a marketer, like I don't do any development, but I am able to configure it, so it's as easy like anybody with basic knowledge could do it.
Right.
So that goes that makes your creative automation easy. Like whatever your requirement is along with the product or content, that could be easily delivered with Content Hub.
This is actually very nice. Now I'm looking at it. It is genuinely making things omni-channel, right? Yeah. That you have your assets always coming in from Content Hub. You have a website with like either Sitecore XP or XM Cloud. The assets coming in from here, the product information, metadata of the products coming in from again Content Hub on your website. Then you create a print template, a PDF brochure. Let's say you are a brand wherein you have multiple stores. Then you can utilize this same concept for creating brochures right out of Content Hub, where the content as well as the assets are stored. And then you can also have flyers which you can distribute from a marketing campaigning standpoint, which could be pretty regional, or it could be global, for maybe a product marketing stuff. And for that you can use the Chili publishing.
Yes, just to add to it, and like no doubt Content Hub supports you in your online presence.
Yeah,
like you have out of the box renditions that are available, the transformations that are available, that helps you in creating multiple renditions of the same image. If you want to share it on your website or on the mobile, or you want to share it as part of your social media post for Facebook, Instagram, so that is always supported. But
sorry to cut you off there. What do you mean by rendition? This question is mainly for a non-technical user.
Yeah, so a rendition is different dimensional images of the original image. Like let's say you have a 2000 by 2000 image,
right,
and you want to use it. Let's take it's a product image.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So if you go to Amazon, you would see the same small image on the cards, yeah, or on the Instagram advertisement from where you click and go to the actual Amazon site.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's one rendition of it.
Okay.
So
got it.
Let's hypothetically take it's an 100 by 100 size of image.
Yeah.
Okay. Then you go to the actual listings page. There you have a slightly bigger image. Say it's 500 by 500.
Cool.
And you go to the actual detail page. You have the original 2000 by 2000 image.
And maybe in a product catalog with a print or template, you have something like 200 by 300.
Yes. So like you don't have to manually go again and again and create those renditions. You have those media processing flows defined, and boom, they are created. Once you upload it, they are ready to consume.
Right. So technically, again, I am just stepping back to understand it a little better. Let's say I, as a photographer, have taken a high resolution image. I am uploading that, like I'm updating it, making the lighting and stuff look good. What I want to focus on, all those things I'm doing in an Adobe product. And because I have the connector installed, it is getting into Content Hub.
Yes.
The moment it is getting created in Content Hub, I may have some triggers or some workflows defined, because of which the standard rendition sizes are getting generated for that particular asset and they're already available, ready to use.
Yes, so that makes your content author's life easy.
Absolutely.
So they don't have to worry like, did I get the right dimension image? They are pre-approved. Okay, this is the dimension image I'll be using on the products listing page. This is the dimension I'm using on product details page. So they are all pre-created, and that would save your time and any mismatches happening.
And while creating these particular renditions, you can also give them metadata information, right? That,
yes,
like for example, 100 by 100 is to be used for Instagram post, or maybe 200 by 200 needs to be used for LinkedIn,
yes,
something like that.
Yeah, you could name it in the way your content authors understand. So you could name it in any way. And just to add to it, with SEO, page load time is becoming important.
Absolutely.
Okay, so just using high resolution images might impact your web load time.
Absolutely, yes.
And at times, like a photographer might have used a particular format, say JPEG, and high resolution JPEG image, but again you can't directly use it on your website, so you would have to compress it
or use a WebP
format. So that could also be done out of Content Hub. You don't have to worry about it. Okay, I have this high resolution image, how will they be able to use it to compress it without impacting the quality of the image? So that could also be done with Content Hub.
So again, we can convert a asset type as well. Like if it is in JPG, we can convert it to a PNG or a WebP to be utilized on web formats,
yes,
which is generally supported or suggested by, let's say, Google for that matter.
Yes, so that would impact your load time. So that would reduce your load time.
And I think this is a good thing, because then eventually, having a big high resolution image and sizing it based on CSS versus using that particular type of rendition or that particular size of image, it is always optimal.
And like when you try it in Content Hub, it's in your hand. Like you could compare the images, like how's my JPEG image looking, how my WebP image is looking, and what is the middle ground that I can achieve so that it doesn't impact the quality of my image and it doesn't impact my website load time.
Okay, now again, this is the pretty Content Hub specific question. Although let's say I'm going to an asset, and as you mentioned, there are multiple renditions available for a given image. So how would those renditions be visible in Content Hub? Let's say that is already like the workflow is done, it is public. So if should I go to an asset and there is some tab called renditions where all the renditions are available, or are they individually available in assets?
That's a pretty good question. So the renditions are available, are accessible at multiple places. So we have assets listing page where you could all the assets within Content Hub are visible. You could select it from there, and you have the options of downloading the renditions if you want to use it in an offline way. And if you want to download a rendition of a particular asset, you could go to the asset detail page and you could download it from there. You have a panel of all the renditions that are generated for a given image. So all of them are available. And over that,
so sorry, in the asset listing page, I will only have that one asset rather than all the renditions of the asset visible there, correct?
Once you select the images for which you want to generate the rendition, you could just select the renditions.
So I'm looking. Let's say I created a product image, okay,
right,
2000 by 2000, and got it uploaded from Adobe to Content Hub. Once it got uploaded, we had the workflows written.
Yes.
So the renditions have already generated. One for the banner, one for LinkedIn post, one for Instagram post, this, that. So there are, like, say, 5 renditions already generated. Okay. Those 5 renditions, if I go to the assets section where the public URL generated and the workflow in the final state, right? Those specific assets are available. So over there, will I have all the asset renditions individually available, or the asset will be available, and if I have to look at rendition, do I need to click that asset and go inside?
Yeah. So for that, like once you have selected the assets, the renditions wouldn't be available directly. But once you click on the download button on the right hand side top, you would be redirected to a different screen
Okay.
where you could select the
Select the
rendition.
rendition suited.
Yeah. What renditions you want to generate.
Okay. Is there a, like, I'm not sure, but is there a way in which I can have some page, some listing page wherein I can have only renditions of, specific renditions of all assets available, something like that? Like, can we create such pages?
Yes. Like there's nothing that is not impossible in Content Hub. With configurations, you could achieve however you want to do it. So yes.
Let's say because what I'm looking forward for is, for example, let's say we have, a specific team, who is only looking at the web channel or the social media channels. So they only want very specific renditions. Why do they need to get all the renditions, only those specific renditions? So for them, we can make a page where they can only look at those particular assets of social media specific ones and share whatever needs to be shared.
Yeah. To refine your requirement, I would say, like, I have team that looks after Facebook.
Yep.
Facebook posting. One team looks after only the Instagram posting.
Yeah.
So then I could create two different listing pages, like one where assets are for Facebook and the other is only for Instagram. And
Correct.
Then I would enable only those renditions that needs to be visible for Instagram. So they don't have to, they wouldn't be confused, like, and you don't have to worry, like the team has mistakenly selected a Facebook image.
Yeah,
Facebook
I just want to make when I look at it, right, I want to make their life easy.
Yeah.
Instead of more complex. The simple the better. Too much information sometimes is too complicated for the teams, and again it might not lead to anything else but delay in getting things out there.
Yeah, so yeah, that would create a confusion, but yes, that is also possible.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
And like the cherry on the top, so there is one other option that is available for layering images, composite images.
Composite images. So you mean you can merge two different images into one?
Yeah, same kind. So like as we have discussed earlier, like I have an artwork or a frame of image that is available that I would reuse for multiple products.
Yeah.
So you have an cold drink and you want to show it like on a summer beach or on a hot day. So you have different backgrounds, but you want to create layered images. So that could also be achieved with Content Hub. So you have both the images available, and then you have to just change the image name and the URL, and the layered image is created, and you could directly use it via public links.
So technically you take asset 1, you take asset 2, you merge them to create a new asset. And
yes,
and that asset can then be used anywhere.
Yes,
which means in that ways we can have multiple permutations and combinations and create multiple images. Let's say I am a brand which is selling fruit juices, for that matter, right? And I have different fruit juices which are seasonal fruits. So in that case, I could even mimic them in the brand along with the season to make it look
exactly
different.
To add to your use case, like I have a brand template and I have 5 different products. So what I could do is, like, whenever I need, I can use the brand template in the background. I can place the product in there and create a public link and use it.
Done.
So in that way, it, as I'm mentioning, like, it reduces your time to market.
Very much.
Like,
I mean, even thinking about it right now, there is, I mean, if I look at it, if I now compare it, right? I mean, if we can do this in Content Hub, what could be better than that? Because then eventually I'll have to do that somewhere in a different product.
yes.
Of course, I would not like to take a name here, but of course there are different products available wherein you could do that. And then, but then you do that, you again save it somewhere and then put it into Content Hub. And again, whenever there is that manual intervention coming, quite possible versioning is mismatched or something of that sort is happening. Versus if we can do that in Content Hub, why not utilize it?
Yes. So like the 4 different things that I mentioned would require 4 different products, 4 different issues, and everywhere the consistency becomes an important thing.
Yeah.
So that could be all done with Content Hub.
Cool. Well, I just have one question. You talked of a number of things today, Girish, but if I ask you, like, in this duration of 2 years, what is that one thing in content? I mean, of course, there are multiple, but one thing that you love the most about Content Hub as a product and you can't live without.
Recently I've been exploring MRM.
Okay.
So the features that are available in MRM, like you could monitor everything in Content Hub using the MRM module. So like as a campaign manager or a product owner, I don't want Content Hub to be a dumping ground. Like whatever digital assets you find, you're not just dumping it into Content Hub, or how the assets are being used. So MRM module is one thing that helps you manage everything within Content Hub, so that 10 years down the line, if it is mismanaged and you have to again look for a solution,
You can still do it there.
Yes, you can manage it in proper way. So MRM is one thing that is very helpful and useful, but it is lesser talked.
I mean, it is good to talk about. I mean, if you have something available, do share it with us.
Yeah, I'm working on an 101 through via my blogs, like how do you configure all the modules that are available in Content Hub using the MRM, and how the flow of the work will go using the MRM module, and how MRM would make your life easy managing Content Hub.
Cool. Well, looking forward. Yes, I have been referring to your blogs. I have looked at something which came out on MRM recently, but if there is a series coming up, I would love to read it and know more.
Yeah, sure. And like if I have anything worth sharing, I'll definitely connect with you so that we can share it with our audience using the podcast.
Absolutely. This was a nice discussion today, nice conversation today, Girish. Thank you for your time again, and thank you for sharing these golden nuggets, I would say, of Content Hub with us. I hope all of you also had something new to learn today from Content Hub, because I had a lot. And that was Girish Jain for you. Girish, looking forward to yet another podcast on something new on Content Hub.
Yeah, sure, definitely. I'm pretty sure that I'll have something to share in Content Hub, because like whatever I have explored with Content Hub is just tip of iceberg, and there's whole of iceberg to explore in Content Hub.
Absolutely. Cool. Well, that was Girish today, and thank you for watching the podcast. Cheers.